Welcome back. It's ML Linnell with another video. Now, how to build respect internally and get respect externally. If you want to learn how to build that kind of self-respect that pushes you further in life, stay watching this video. You're going to learn something. Now, let's get straight into it. So, the negatives of being disrespected. We're going to start off with the negatives, okay? So, you hate yourself, you don't get what you want out of life, and you can't lead yourself and others. So I'm going to say these again. You hate yourself because you're being disrespected by the world externally, and because you don't respect yourself internally, you end up hating yourself. You don't get what you want out of life. You know, if you're getting disrespected and you don't like yourself, you disrespect yourself, how can you get anything you want out of life? It doesn't make sense, right? Because you don't like yourself, you don't even like to get what you want because you don't get what you want. So yeah, you can't lead yourself to what you want because you don't like yourself and you disrespect yourself. The world actually reflects that back to you, and then you think to yourself, I can't lead myself to what I want. And of course you can, because you disrespect yourself, and everything about you, your external world, your internal view of yourself is disrespectful. There's no possible way for you to actually lead yourself, right? But this is what to do to gain respect, okay? Ask yourself before you do something, will I respect myself if I do said action, right? Doing what you say you will do. Demand more from yourself and making decisions for yourself, okay? So the first one is what we're going to do to stop thinking negatively of ourselves and to think more positively and get respect, okay? You're going to ask yourself before you do something, will I respect myself for doing this? So if you're about to go to McDonald's, if you're just about to impulsively just eat junk food, right? Think to yourself, okay, while I have this thought right before I go, am I going to respect myself for taking this action? And you know what the right answer is. Doing what you say you will do, right? So you build that level of self-respect by doing what you say you will do, right? So if I'm the kind of guy who says, I'm going to run a marathon, and then I go run a marathon, I've done what I said I'll do. And it works even better if it's something hard like running a marathon. Demand more from yourself. So always push yourself further. So like the example before, if I say, I want to run a marathon, I'm going to run a marathon, and then I do it, if I just demand more from myself, and let's say instead of running 42 kilometers, which is a marathon, I instead run 50 kilometers, which is what I did, then I've demanded more from myself and I've pushed further than what even I wanted to do in the beginning. And then it's like, okay, now I've really got self-respect because I pushed myself even further than I wanted to. People didn't even think I was going to do a marathon. I knew I was going to do a marathon, but I did 8 kilometers extra. That's building a lot of self-respect. And lastly, making decisions for yourself. So this even ties into running a marathon. I made the choice to run a marathon, but it could be simple, small decisions. Like, of course, if you make a long-term decision and you stick it out and you actually complete the task, that is epic. That's how you really build long-term self-respect. But even small decisions like, I don't know, washing your hands after you take a shit, right? Like some people don't do that. People should be doing that. What about, washing the dishes after you eat instead of just leaving it all in the sink to pile up? Or what about going to the gym when you said you were going to go to the gym, or waking up when you said you were going to wake up? Simple things like this, right? This is what builds self-respect over a long contingency of time. So how your life will look when you're respecting yourself. You will have a deeper sense of self. You can push yourself further. People respect you more, and you're leading your life and others follow. So again, we'll start from the top. You have a deeper sense of self. So you're not such a shallow person anymore, because if you just act out of impulse all the time, you're having a wank all the time because you impulsively can't stop, or you're just eating junk food all the time because it's just your impulse to do it, or you're just doing drugs or drinking alcohol out of impulse. You can't have self-respect. You need to stop that impulse, okay? And then when you stop that impulse, yes, it hurts, but that is actually how you build that deeper sense of self, because you've like dove deep into your own mind as to like, hey, this is something that I can't control, but if I can control this about myself, then I get to build self-respect, okay? You can push yourself further. This ties into having a deeper sense of self. If you can stop the impulses, it's like you're pushing yourself in that time frame of the impulse hitting you and you making a decision on whether or not to act out of impulse. You're pushing yourself further. And so it all builds mental strength, right? It's hard to explain, but your life, when you do respect yourself, you will be able to push yourself further in all of your activities, okay? People respect you more because you respect yourself internally. You get external respect from the world. People, children, women, everyone respects you because you respect yourself and you look like a man who does respect himself, right? Leading your own life and others follow. So because you respect yourself and you lead your own life, you ask yourself before you do something, will I respect myself? And then you decide, yes, I will respect myself if I do this. If you do that for a long enough period of time, you will lead yourself and you will eventually start to lead others towards your own personal greatness. And that's what people love. They love to respect a man who's leading himself and leads others. Okay? So, that's what your life will look like. You'll have a deeper sense of self. You'll have a sense of purpose. You'll be more fulfilled. You'll be leading yourself. You'll actually be enjoying life because you have fulfillment. Like this is what it's all about, man. Building that self-respect. I mean, as you saw from the thumbnail, I was a pot smoker, a stoner, and then I turned into like a gym bro who actually has self-respect. And I'm telling you, the guy who I was at the start compared to the guy that I was, or the guy that I am now, is completely different. Like the life that I live now is so much better than the life that I used to live. It's literally so much better. It's so different. And I'm only getting better. I'm only improving. So it's like, this is what we all got to do so we can all improve each other, right? So I'm going to leave it at that. This is ML Linnell signing off. Make the change that you know you need to make. Mwah.